Okay, hi Mitch. It is Neo here. Let us watch your VOD. I'm gonna give you a VOD review here, and let's see how it's going. So, a lot of times I like to start off by looking at comps, especially when we're playing support, because I think that understanding kind of the synergy within your comp is kind of important. So one thing to note is that our other healer is a Lucio. That means that we are going to be looking at the tank a little bit more than necessary, because if we had like a Moira or an Ana on our team, then they could stare at the tank more than we did. But because we have a Lucio, that means that we're going to be healing the tank a little bit more. One thing I've noticed about Lifeweaver players is that they tend to forget to do damage. So don't forget that you can deal damage. I really noticed this a lot. Nice, I like this. See, even right here, I want us to do some damage, because the more damage we do, even if you're just doing some like pick damage to the hog, even if we're doing light damage to the hog, that means that we're building ult charge. So don't be afraid out the gate to do damage. We don't necessarily want to sit there with a full heal pedal all the time, because one, if we have it, our movement slows after we hold it for a second, and two, if we hold it for too long, it's going to go away and we just have to charge another one anyway. So generally we want to heal our teammates at around like 40 to 50 charge and just kind of keep spamming those, but I also want us to be doing some damage right here. We know they have a Pharah and we see the Widow, so we want to be cautious where we're playing because we don't want to peek the Widow. I like that we're doing damage. I like that we swapped instead of reloading. Yeah, we don't need to fully heal these either. Just like 30, 30, 30s. Just keep sending them out. We can see that our Lucio's with a Ryan, so we don't have to worry about him. I want us just to swap to our weapon though and just do some damage. I don't even want to worry about healing him. The Lucio's there for that. Our Ryan got hooked, so decent pull, but unfortunately it puts our team had already kind of went to support him. So what I would consider doing is I would consider pedaling up here, so that way you can try, one, you know the hog doesn't have hooks, so you're not in fear of getting thrown into the water, and then two, you can just get some full heal pedals onto the Rhine really quickly from this distance, and then that way you're not also throwing away the shield from two of your teammates. I know the pull looks tempting, and I understand why you did it, but just be very cautious, because then you took the shield away from these two, and they do get punished for it.
Come here, will you?
So yeah, just pedal high ground. And we want to be looking at our bastion there. Yeah, that's unfortunate. People are playing really far up. I want us to take a high ground, so either take the left one, the right one, or the back one again. We have full again in 3 seconds. We're gonna need it in 1 second. I'm glad we didn't do it because Orion is there. But however, he needs to get into our LOS. We need to pull him. Yeah, right here, deal damage. Like, be very, very cautious about these full heal pedals. So you're really tunneled on the Rhine, and we really get in the LOS with the junk, and then he goes up with us on the pedal. I find that's a really big weakness of mine with Lifeweaver, is you're like, oh, I'm gonna take this engage, because I have pedal to get out, and then that person with you goes onto the pedal. So be very, just be cautious about playing on a further back high ground. It's really weird that our Rhine made some of those decisions there, but we couldn't have done too much about it. Now as a team we need to regroup. We're down both of our DPS, so it's unfortunate our Rhine is going in. I would take this high ground right above you, pedal up to it. And I want us to... Yeah, okay, we could have saved our Lucio right there. So what I would do is when you hear this tire, I would try and get your crosshair on Lucio, and then the second you hear it, I would just pull him toward you, right here. Just pull the Lucio and make him invulnerable, and he would have survived here. Okay, if our Rhine's gonna engage, we should encourage our Rhine to engage, and then we should tree right now. I would tree of life. Yeah, stop holding this full charged pedal, because it's slowing down our movement. It's making us even harder for us to heal him. Just tree where the Junkrat is right now. Which is unfortunate, because our Rhine would have gotten blocked by it, but it's fine. We needed to use our ultimate there. I want us doing some damage. Yeah, heal less, damage more. Heal less, damage more. The Widow's shooting at us? Yes. I would just try and get out though. Yeah, nice try. You have dash to heal yourself. Nice. Our team needs to regroup, and we need to reload our weapon as well. So our Rhine is off of Rhine and they're on the Doomfist. You saw the Junkrat trap in front of you. Be cautious of that. Heal the Bastion. Yeah, we want to be within the tree range just a little bit. I like that we're trying to do damage here. I like that we swapped the heals. I would switch back to damage because the Bob is just going to die. So switch back to damage, especially when you have your tree up. You can heal less and damage more. Lifeweaver's damages are already pretty low. So, but we want to do that so we, especially when we don't have ult, so we can build our ult charge. And so I want us pedaling up top left. We're taking the stairs, preferably pedal, and then shooting from the window a little bit. Our team is down 2 now, so we need to fall back. I would be shooting the junk if we could. Swap to, yep, nice, nice. Yeah, the second we took that first shot to the face, we needed to just dash to the right. Or the left, either works. I prefer the right for a few reasons. So dash to the right to regen 25 health, and then go out toward the stairs, and that way we could try to like heal the Doom, or we could have tried to grip him. We're just in a better spot against a Junkrat. I feel like we're forgetting about our dash a little bit. Nice try. Not much you could do. Honestly, yeah, just dash. A short pull. I would try to get it here instead. So that way you're pulling her out of their LOS instead of still kind of a short one into it still. I like that work type. I love that we're weaving in damage here. I want us to do that a lot more. You need to heal the Moira. She's to your right. Yeah, focus on healing your other healer when they're low instead of the tank. I want us dealing damage. Damage, damage, damage. Nice. And again, I want more damage here. Dash into the tank. I like it. I would have left him in a little bit longer. Because now he's going to re-engage at a lower health. That's unfortunate. Not much you could do there. Yeah, so in this spot, we want to leave the pull because so pull is like you get slight immortality. You do not get cleansed. So right, he could take some damage and then you can pull him. If he's at like half health or like even like 300 health, like I don't know what that is. But if he hits critical, that's when I would think about pulling him. Not necessarily here because he doesn't need the invulnerability. And then look, he just re-engages anyway while he's still anti and now he's low. Versus if you pulled him in like right now, you could actually heal him up. This is unfortunate. I like that you tried to get away. It is what it is. I'm trying to think if we should have probably used Tree this fight. So Tree builds very, very fast, especially when you're healing as much as you are. You just got it. Yeah, no, you couldn't have. Tree builds very, very fast. Don't be afraid to use it aggressively as well.
A familiar sting of failure.
I want us to have our damage out here. I like this. I like this. You really, yeah, I'll talk about the reload thing in a second because I feel like there's a slight misunderstanding that I can explain. You see the junk trap? Don't trap into it. It's fine. Or Moira did. Damage, damage, damage here. Everyone's full health. There's a Moira to heal. You can do damage. We want to build Tree again. We can also completely avoid reloading on Lifeweaver, and I want to talk about it. It's not as strong as it used to be, but it's still a tech that I think is important to know.
That should do it.
Do not pull him. Okay, good. Okay, then we needed to. Yeah, we were able to pull him right here. It's unfortunate, but right when you hear this thing, just get him. Or there. Yeah, either of those would have been fine. It's unfortunate. Good try. That was an awful noise. Okay, now we're on Mercy. So similar thing I like to do about Mercy. So one thing I like to do, to think about while we play Mercy is, I always look at our composition and I think, what is our main job with this composition? And what I mean by that is Mercy plays as a pocket support, which means that I generally pick one of our DPS and I just stay with them the whole time. This changes depending on if the DPS swap or if I feel like this DPS isn't hitting a lot of shots. Sometimes I'll just switch over to the other one. And I just pay attention to tick notifications and which ones I feel like is providing more value. So with this composition, the person I really want us to pocket is the Ashe. This could be a little bit different because I know you are a console player, so maybe the Bastion is better in this scenario, but I would pocket the Ashe as much as I could, and then if I feel like she isn't getting enough tick notifications for me to feel satisfied with that, then I would try damage boosting the Bastion. But I would definitely try and stick with the Ashe as much as possible. Oops, wrong button. Doesn't matter.
Let me see what I can do.
It's fine. This is a free res, especially if we go to the left of this boxes. Perfect. Oh, that is unfortunate. We didn't necessarily need to cross, but I did think we were pretty... honestly, I thought we were pretty safe with the Rhine shield and stuff. I do think we could have probably just stayed here without that, but it is what it is. We probably could have stayed by the boxes and just kept damage boosting the Bastion, but I want us with this Ashe, so very good, very good. And then we don't need to peek. We just got res back. I would switch to healing, yeah, because she could get body shot by the Widow. But it's fine if you just kind of rapidly switch between healing and damage boost right there. I'd still stick with the Ashe if we could. Just damage boost in this scenario. So the whole reason we even heal the Ashe here is because she can get one shot body shot by the Widow when she's at this health. When she's at this health, she can no longer get one shot body shot, she could get headshot, so I could just switch to damage boost again because I'm not too worried about it. And then that whole time I'm just trying to get her out of body shot Widow range. And then when she drops, I don't have to focus on healing at all because the Ana's down here. The Ana can heal all of these people up quite well and I don't need to worry about it. And yeah, she kind of proves it when she does this. Look at that. That's all on a ult charge. I don't have to worry about it. I can just try and get Ashe to win the sniper 1v1. So just damage boost the Ashe. Her positioning isn't the best, which makes me want to go back to the Bastion. Yep. Very nice. I'd keep damage boosting the Bastion, especially when he's in wheels. Don't worry about any of this. Just damage boost Bastion. Damage boost Bastion. Yeah, we really lost sight of him here. Because look, he's critical here and we leave him, which is... We don't... As the Mercy player with an Ana, we don't need to worry about the Rhine. We can just worry about our DPS. I'd be very scared of this res because we don't know where the Widow is, but she did get pinned, so it's fine. It's a little unneeded nano. We hear the Widow to our top left. We can still hear her. We see her. We had visual on her. Okay. So yeah, it doesn't matter. I was gonna say, at this point, I want us to be playing somewhere else. You're gonna die to Tyre anyway with this, but in general, when we're in this position, I now want us to be, like, up here, and we can damage boost the Bastion in the exact same spot we are. We could even have LOS of the Junkrat, and don't forget that you have Mercy Tech, to where is if you hit the crouch button, when you go to the Bastion, you can go up. Even without the crouch button, you can shift and then look up and hit space, or whatever your jump button is, sorry, and you can be up here and you can damage boost him from this range. And then when we heard the Tyre, we could have tried to fall back here, and then he makes the decision of killing people he can see easier, or us, and that way it's not a 3k, it's just like a 1k or a 2k. And what's good is Tyre you can normally get a res from. So when we hear this Tyre, I really want us to, what I do when I hear Tyre is I disconnect beam immediately. I melee to disconnect it, and then I try and hide. So I would hide in this, like, closer to the Mega is, as soon as we hear it, which is here. So disconnect and then go to the right. Don't get closer to your teammates when you hear a Tyre. I see what you were trying to do, but in all honesty, where you were, you could have maybe tried to res one of them afterwards, and it wouldn't have killed you.
Feeling more powerful?
I remember this feeling.
So again, I like this. I want us to default to being with the Ashe or the Bastion. I don't mind the Bastion pick because I feel like the Ashe has failed us a little bit. This is very resable. You could maybe res it from up here. I definitely try to do it, especially since you heard Hook.
Never die.
Yeah, be careful about flying in a straight line against this Widow. We see her. Okay, we see where this Widow is, right here. So because I see her, I just want to play like right here. So we could be right here. Our beam length gets doubled when we're in Valkyrie, so we can still damage boost the Rhine from up here. And I don't know that the junk is here at this time, but it's going to be still very hard for him to hit us if we're just like right here. So that would be my goal, is to get around here. Trying to LOS the Widow so that way she can't just keep trying to get these free shots on us. Yeah, she should have left a little bit. Good try. Okay, now we're on Moira.
Humanity is shackled. I
will say I don't love Moira into the enemy comp. I like the healer there. You see the trap in front of you again. I don't love Moira into the enemy comp for a few reasons. They're running a pretty decent long-range comp, especially with the Junkrat and the Widow. They can just spam you from very far away or in rooms, and it's going to be very hard for you to get like close to them for you to do damage. And Moira's kit, her whole util is close range damage and close range healing. That's all she does for the team, is just damage or heal, and like that's it. Just bulk healing or like pretty decent damage output, pretty consistent damage output. So this is going to be hard getting into them, so what I would do is I would try and stay close to the Rhine and the Bastion or the Bastion as much as possible, and that way we can just keep burst healing them up and they can do a lot of damage as well. And they can help us clear this space. It's going to be hard. Nice try. It's unfortunate both your DPS keep grouping up when there's a tire. A little bit slow reaction to the damaging the junk here. Yeah, it is what it is. That's just fine. Stop healing him around here. So Moira is healing over time, and I think that's important to note, because once you get him to about right here, the healing orb is going to do a lot, and he's going to heal up over time, and that way we don't use as much of our resources as we need to, especially when it's right here. I think he'll just get fully healed up. And that way we are only using like half of this, and we can benefit from the rest of the orb, versus we're healing him all the way here. We're not taking advantage of this over time. We've used an additional like 1/6 of our resource. And so now we're going into this with low healing resource. I want a damage orb here. Very, very nice. I want us going with the rest of our team. We hear the Mercy to our right. She's dead. Very good. I don't mind the distraction on the Hog, but I really want us with our team. Yeah, we also had LOS on the Widow. And we kind of realized over the course of the game that she's not bad. So the second I see her, I want to just... you either need to move unpredictably or just get out of her LOS. And we could have really gotten out of her LOS if we just went to the left. Let me say something. Don't forget there's a split spawn feature. So just go back to the spawn room and then hit your interact key, and then you'll have switched spawns.
You will be renewed.
Ooh. Damage orb the Zen. Yeah, I don't love orbs toward the ground for because I feel like you don't get max value out of them. Versus if you threw an orb, a damage orb like this way, right here, you could get a lot of damage, and it could bounce off of here, and it could come back, and you definitely could kill the Zen. So the reason I don't like orbs toward the ground is because they go up. You hit them on the ground and then they go up, and then they just go away and they never ricochet. So getting these kind of like ricochet orbs is very nice. So if you're throwing it on the payload, it can bounce back this way as well and do extra damage. I honestly wouldn't hate you doing a damage on the orb toward the Zen, because he is so low already. It would just go down and it would hit him the entire time, and when it's coming back up, it would tick on him the entire time, and that would probably be enough to kill him in this scenario in particular. But it would do the same thing if you were throwing it against this payload, and then it would come back as well. So that would be my goal.
A taste of poison.
This is just building ult charge. I wish we raced backwards instead of forwards, because now we're in a very precarious position. Focus is Zen. Nice. I like this. Tap heal the ball. Just tap him once and then keep going. Yep, good, good, good. I like this. We see the trap to our back right, by the way, so be careful. You're about to walk into it. Yep. We have visuals on the traps and then we forget about them, and that's 100 damage. So, this ult, I don't hate it, but what I really want you to do is I want you to wait 3 seconds. I want you to wait 3 seconds. I want you to wraith all the way over here. I want you to throw a damage orb and then ult, because we're over here and this creates a few problems. We have to now use our ult and our extra speed to go into them, versus if we just wraithed initially. We could do it here, and we heard the hook, so we know that's not a problem. And then this extra damage orb will ensure us we get this kill on this Mercy. So that's what it's very important to try and damage orb before you coalescence, and you get it in 3 seconds. Or you can heal orb, depending on what your goal is. If your goal is to heal up your team, obviously heal orb. If it's to kill people, it's damage orb. And I want you to try and do it when people are already on your screen. So that's why I'm like, oh, wraith in and get this extra damage in. Because we're losing the Mercy here, and we could have definitely killed her. Yeah, we definitely could have killed her. Especially when you look like right here, you lose her. If you just tried to go further left here, you could try and LOS the Widow, and we can get this kill on the Mercy, but we just kind of lose track of her and she gets away. I do want us to damage orb. I don't mind the heal orb. I prefer the damage. I do actually kind of mind the heal orb, because Wrecking Ball, he moves at such a fast momentum and he went in a direction you weren't expecting. So because of that, this doesn't provide any healing to him, and you didn't necessarily need it. So I'm glad you're not wraithing in to help the ball. He should come back to you to get healing, but it is unfortunate that he went in such a wildly different direction than your heal orb. You're not getting much value out of it than you would have gotten. We did wraith in to help him. Be very cautious of that. I know it was also for the tire, so that was nice, but a Wrecking Ball is significantly faster than you. We do need to die here. Oh, okay, we can live. We can live. This is fine. I would hide. Yeah, just hide right here.
60 seconds.
A Wrecking Ball is significantly faster than you, and it's much easier for them to disengage than it is for you to. So a lot of times if you try and engage with them, they can disengage before you can, and then the team will just look at you. There's a trap behind you. Just be wary of that. This is all fine. I don't love the Wraith right there. I wouldn't worry about your teammates. I would. So the payload moves faster. There's multiple people on it. When you're in a scenario like this, I want you just to stay on it with your ball, because you guys could maybe cap. And there's another healer over there who can maybe do something. And so we were caught without our orb, and we died with Wraith as well. And the ball was still 4 meters away from capping. I don't think you guys could have capped if you did it together, but it would have put you guys in a much better position. Also, we didn't need that orb.
10 seconds.
Luckily we got it back. I want a healing orb. Nice. Focus the Mercy here. You see her above you. Focus the Lifeweaver. He died. Nice. This is okay. So the thing about heal orb is it connects to somebody who's low. This includes yourself, or like who has taken damage. Because you don't take damage, it moves very, very quickly, and it doesn't attach to you or anyone really. I know you're trying to get it to the Ash, but unfortunately the angle made it hit the payload. Just try and make sure that you've taken some damage, and I would use it in a very defensive position here, because you alone cannot kill a hog on Moira. He's just gonna, you don't do enough damage and he's gonna heal it back up. We can definitely try and get the Tracer. Her hitbox, especially when you're playing Moira, is pretty ridiculous. And so I would just try and save orb for myself pretty selfishly. And just try and use it when I'm low, so that way I'm not caught without it. Nice, touching the payload again. Yeah, for this damage orb, when you're in this scenario and your goal is to get them off cart, you could try and bounce it between like this area and this area. So that way when they're contesting, this damage orb gets a lot of value. So a damage orb has 200 damage in it, a healing orb has 300. You could also throw a healing orb this way and it will do the same thing, just bouncing between these two walls. And that will just create enough pressure that somebody could fall back, especially a Tracer. It ticks down her health very quite quickly. Is that it? It's pretty close, yeah. So
No opposition is
I for one, I would just pick one healer and try and generally stick to them. Especially at this elo. This is nice. And you guys lost the game. That's fine. So I'm a pretty big advocate for one-tricking, especially when you're below like diamond. I think that you can get a lot of like knowledge of the game by one-tricking, and you can learn about hero interactions a little bit better. When you climb higher, of course, I think that it requires different supports for different scenarios, and especially on like tanks, it requires different tanks for different scenarios. So then I'm like a little bit iffier about one-tricking, but I highly suggest one-tricking. Let us talk about that Lifeweaver tech that I talked about for a second. So with Lifeweaver, you never need to reload. It's just not required. So, oops. Okay. Let's say that we. Okay, they died. I'm just gonna use all my petals.
Something for the sting.
So let's say I'm here. I'm like, oh no. Instead of reloading, I can damage. And then when I go back to my heals, I have it again. I have all of them, all 20. And then again, I can go back to damage. And then again, I have all my petals. And after I throw a few, I have all my damage again. So I never need to reload if I'm just cycling between these two. And I'm a big advocate for support stealing damage, even if you're missing your shots, because it creates pressure. So even if I'm just throwing all my shots right here, that's a spot that the enemy can't go to, because you know what? I have thorns right there, and they can no longer do it. If you're shooting a shield, I think Lifeweaver is actually fantastic for shredding shields. I think if you are going to play Lifeweaver, you should ult more, a lot more, and I want you to do more damage. So, I want you to try to get used to this of like, oh, I never need to reload, because I can always just do something. You can, of course, obviously reload in downtime, but just getting this, like, sort of feel of never having to reload makes it's very nice. Just weaving in some damage. Okay. Hope that was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions or you want another one. And yeah, bye.